and welcome to the first episode of Paranormal Kush, where we discuss fringe topics. And today, the topic that we're going to be discussing is Bigfoot or Sasquatch. Kiwi, what do you know about Bigfoot?
A large, supposed cryptozoid of unspecified proportions lives supposedly on the east coast of the United States, perhaps further north into Canada. There seem to be related concepts in many places, but usually going by different names. Well, there's that famous photograph of the one across the river with the log and looking back towards the camera.
Do you know where that was filmed?
No, I don't.
In California.
Really? Really?
Yeah, Washington, Oregon, and California have actually more Bigfoot sightings than any other state in the country.
Wow.
Anyways, so before we get into all that, I just want to tell you guys, I don't know, I encourage you to keep an open mind, and nobody knows everything, and this world is a very strange place. So with that being said, let's get into it. So, like you said, yes, like Native American tribes all over the United States have many, many different names for Bigfoot. Like, before white people even came to this country, I don't know any of them, but I know tribes in Alaska, to tribes in California, to tribes in Oklahoma, and even New Mexico, like Navajo, have words for this Sasquatch being a hairy, upright, wild man. So, like I said earlier, yeah, Washington, California, and Oregon are the hot spots for Bigfoot sightings in the United States. And, a lot of these sightings are by incredible people, police officers, judges, other people who work in law enforcement, or, teachers. So that's one thing to consider when we look at these sighting reports. So let's move on a little bit to the video and audio evidence that has been presented and circulated online over the years. So the most famous footage that you mentioned earlier, it's called the Patterson-Gimlin film. It was filmed in 1968 in Northern California in a place called Bluff Creek. It shows a female Sasquatch walking across a riverbank and looking back at the camera. And what's interesting about that footage...
I'm sorry, how do we know it's female?
Because
I
was about to say, what's interesting about that footage is that there are clearly breasts that seem to be pendulous. And so a lot of people noticed that as something that really stuck out in the footage.
Clearly, I've never looked at it that closely.
Yeah, it's very, once you see, stabilized footage, it's very convincing. So yeah, that's a really, really good piece of evidence. And if you go to MK Davis, his YouTube channel, he does some really good stabilizations and kind of restorations of that video. So yeah, and audio, there's a lot of audio evidence. What you can call audio evidence. Obviously, we don't see what the creature that makes a sound, but these audio recordings that are captured in different parts of the country, they really are anomalous. For example, one of the most famous audio recordings is called the Sierra Sounds, and it was recorded in California, in the Sierra Nevada mountains. I'm not sure exactly what area, but it's a very, very strange series of sounds that don't seem like they could be made by a human. It almost sounds like a language. Like if a monkey were to create its own language, this is what it would sound like. they took it in the 70s.
So you're saying it sounds like language?
Yes.
Interesting.
But like a proto-language.
Yes, I'm assuming you're not talking about distinct vowel sounds.
Yeah.
As soon as there's sentence structure, that should be discernible, even if we don't know the content.
Yeah, linguistics experts have like looked at this, and that's why I say that it's kind of a proto-language, just because that's what I've heard other linguistics experts say.
Interesting.
And so, also with audio, there's something called the Ohio Howl. It was filmed or recorded. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, I've heard something about this, yes.
And it sounds like Tarzan, and it's like as loud as a tornado siren going off in the middle of the night, in the middle of nowhere, and so. That's a very famous piece of audio that I would call, I would say it's a substantial piece of evidence.